Sports. We are the Fourth. We are the Fourth.
The Rays have been the hottest team in baseball since the All-Star break, winning 7 of 8 to move into the playoff conversation. Tonight, the power-laden Milwaukee Brewers arrive at the Trop to begin a 3-game set. Welcome to Tropicana Field. Tonight, the Rays continue this crucial homestand. The second team in will be the Milwaukee Brewers. This game 1 of a 3-game series between the Rays and the Brewers. Hi again, everyone, with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. Todd Callis along in just a few moments. The Milwaukee Brewers come to town. Each one of these games, each series, critical here for the Rays. The Brewers may not walk a lot. They are aggressive, and they score tons of runs.
Powerful. Aggressive and powerful. You're right, Dwayne. They see the fewest pitches per plate appearance than any team in Major League Baseball, but they also pound home runs like you can't believe. They have 6 guys, double digits in home runs, and you see the National League ranks right there. Second in runs a game, the home runs, the slugging percentage. This is a team that is deep with power, and they get after it in a hurry. So what that forces you to do is have to go out there and be precise early. There's no easing your way into a game against this lineup because they'll put some crooked numbers up on you in a hurry. Jake Odorizzi will be the guy that'll get the first shot at him. And guess what? He's thrown very well his last 8 starts. The 4-2 record, 2.39 earned run average, has done a nice job of holding opponents to a 206 average, runners in scoring position. And I'll tell you something else. He's also getting deeper into games over this stretch. He's averaging over 6 innings pitched per start, and he's pitching with a lot of confidence right now, and he's going to need that going up against this powerful Brewer lineup.
Odorizzi started his pro career in the Milwaukee Brewers organization, on the Kansas City and now the Rays in his rookie year. And the veteran right-hander Kyle Loesch, all he does is win for this team and give them quality innings. Loesch at 35 comes in 11-4 on the season this year. Roster move involving the Rays pitching staff, and when we come back, Todd Callis will have the latest on that.
Jose Molina in the lineup today. He and Tom Foley going through their routine. But there's a little added. Wow. Oh, wow. Jose Molina and Tom Foley having a good time before the game. So the Rays, you saw Joe Madden in the forefront of that picture right there. The Rays had to make a decision knowing that Joel Peralta was coming back. He's been missing since prior to the All-Star break due to a virus from the Rays bullpen. But the leader in the bullpen is back through that game at the Florida State League level earlier on the weekend, and he is ready to go. Says he can't wait to pitch. Hopes to pitch often in the final 2 months plus a few days. And unfortunately, there just wasn't any room for Eric Bedard now that Jeremy Hellickson is back in the Rays rotation. We caught up with the manager, Joe Madden, before the game. In our Geico quote, he calls Bedard Frenchie. Here are his thoughts about not really truly being a reliever.
Frenchie, you can't really pitch him out of the bullpen. It's not beneficial to him or to us. He's a starter. Great guy. Did some really good work for us. Personally, love this guy. I mean, great conversation, good relationship. I wish him nothing. We wish him nothing but the best. But for right now, it just did not seem to fit properly.
So the Rays going younger in their bullpen. Jeff Beliveau stays. Kirby Yates stays down there as well, as Eric Bedard is designated for assignment. 3 minutes and 10 seconds until the first pitch tonight. It'll be Jake Odorizzi, originally drafted by the Brewers. Odorizzi against Kyle Loesch. Game time, 3 minutes away.
Jake Odorizzi goes to the hill for the Rays tonight with the Milwaukee Brewers in town. Rays and the Brewers last met in interleague play in 2011. Rays took 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee at Miller Park. And the Rays are hoping to do at least that here as they continue to reignite what has been a resurgent month here for the Rays. Starting lineup for Milwaukee, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Carlos Gomez is going to lead it off, followed by Jonathan Lucroy. Ryan Braun hits third. Aramis Ramirez at third, hitting cleanup in front of the DH Ricky Weeks. Chris Davis in left. Scooter Jeanette's at second. Mark Reynolds at first. Gene Segura is the shortstop. He hits ninth.
Take a look at the season numbers here on right-hander Jake Odorizzi, making his 21st start of the season. 6-8 record, ERA 3.97. But how about the strikeouts to innings pitched? 124 strikeouts, 106 2/3 innings, just under 10.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. One of the top numbers in all of baseball. And I'll tell you what, he's been throwing the ball very well. Saw the numbers in the open there. Last 8 starts, averaging over 6 innings a start, a 4-2 record, and an ERA below 2.5. Let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind Jake tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Ben Zobrist, Desmond Jennings, and Kevin Kiermaier. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Yunel Escobar, Logan Forsythe, and James Loney. Jose Molina will be behind the plate.
Well, this is an aggressive Milwaukee Brewers team, and it starts with their outstanding center fielder. See Carlos Gomez hitting .303 among center fielders, third, second in home runs with 15, and second in runs batted in with 53 among center fielders.
And the word is, do not throw me a get-me-over strike to start the game out.
He comes out swinging and does exactly that here. And it's a foul ball, strike one.
And that's something that you're going to see really up and down this Brewers lineup all series long. They see the fewest pitches per plate appearance in Major League Baseball. Uber aggressive and very powerful.
Ground ball to third, scooped by Longoria. Throw to first in time, and that's the way this one begins. The Rays did employ the shift with Gomez, and they get him out third to first.
You know, Dwayne, this lineup, and I know you're thinking along the same lines as I am, but this lineup will remind people of the Toronto Blue Jay lineup from a couple of years ago, where these guys are just up there freewheeling, trying to hit bombs all night long.
Ron Rinicky, the skipper of this ball club, formerly a member of the Los Angeles Angels coaching staff. There's been a few of those guys spread around as managers, including Joe Madden. Joe Madden very familiar with Ron Rinicky in his 4th season as the manager of the Brewers. There's ball 2 to Jonathan Lucroy. And he is having a great year. He led this team in runs batted in last year and starts this game tied for 5th in the National League in hitting. Popped it up. Loney after it. In foul ground. 2 up and 2 down. Well, we've seen already 5 pitches in and 2 outs. Well, most of the baseball we've seen, 5 pitches in, you're still trying to figure out what the leadoff guy is going to do with that.
Right. Yeah, and every pitch that's been in the zone has been swung at. 2 balls, 3 strikes, 3 swings, 2 outs.
And Ryan Braun playing right field these days. 297. The pitch is a strike. We know the story on Jake Odorizzi. A lot of success early in games, and recently he has carried that deeper into games as he has pitched very well for the Rays.
Yeah, you just love the fact that he's averaging just a little bit over 6 innings a start over his last 8. Very encouraging to get him deep into ball games.
Fly ball, short center. Forsythe hustling out from second, gets there. Nice play by Logan Forsythe. He got a great jump, got out there in a hurry. Rays coming in the hit. Bottom of the first coming, no score. First, the Rays coming in to hit, opening this series against Milwaukee. Joe Madden's lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Desmond Jennings leads it off. Then Ben Zobrist and Matt Joyce back in the DH spot. Evan Longoria, James Loney, and Logan Forsythe down the middle with Yunel Escobar hitting seventh in front of Jose Molina and Kevin Kiermaier in right field batting ninth. You can see Zobrist has been red hot, dating back almost 20 games deep now. And they'll face Kyle Loesch.
Consistent Kyle Loesch. You see his numbers on the season. 22nd start, has a complete game. 11 wins, impressive. ERA 3.07. Everything across the board good for Kyle Loesch. All he does is pitch well and win.
First pitch, and Jennings hits this one on the ground to Segura, the shortstop. One away.
Well, and I would expect more of that by this Rays offense. We'll get to that in just a minute as we take a quick look at the Brewer defense as it lines up tonight in the outfield. Left to right, we have Chris Davis, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun across the infield, third to first. Aramis Ramirez, Gene Segura, Scooter Gennett, and Mark Reynolds. Jonathan Lucroy will be behind the plate. Kyle Loesch is a guy with just 25 walks on the season in 141 innings now. A lot of strikes around the plate, not overpowering, and usually that equals early swings by the opposition.
The pitch to Zobrist is a strike. Yeah, he's a pretty interesting guy. His splits, lefties hitting only .237 against him. He does have a good off-speed pitch. He'll throw the change. There's a strike. Two quick strikes to Zobrist, and he goes right to work and right after these hitters.
Yep, that's another thing. You know, not wasting a whole lot of time. Veteran pitcher has a good idea of what he wants to do, and so he's right back up on the rubber, taking a sign and delivering the ball.
This one lined up the right side. That's a foul ball and sticks at the base of that low wall.
You know, Kyle Loesch, interesting. 2010, he had 18 starts. Missed a lot of time that year with a right forearm strain. Eventually ended up on the 60-day disabled list. Up to that point, he averaged about 17 and a half, 18 pitches an inning. And then coming back in 2011 from that injury, he averaged 14.9 pitches an inning. And that's how the kind of pitcher he's been since then.
A high popper. Zobrist lost sight of it, and Jeanette, the second baseman, is there to make the catch. Oh, he's averaging only 15 pitches an inning this year.
Yeah, so you talk about that efficiency with his pace. He likes to get that offense back to work as quick as possible.
Brewers start the day in first place by 2 games in the National League Central. And they will admit in a candid moment they were a little concerned about the David Price rumors of him going to St. Louis because they're battling the Cardinals in the NL Central.
Yeah, that division is bunched up. 2 games ahead of the Cardinals, 3 games ahead of Pittsburgh Pirates, and 6 ahead of the Reds.
1-1 to count.
Yeah, so you get 4 teams within 6 games of each other, and the team right behind you getting a difference maker like David Price potentially.
It's inside, 2-1. So the Brewers continued to root for the Rays to win until this series.
It's true.
Three balls and a strike.
I'll tell you what, that right there, a very good changeup by Loesch, and that's what you'll see. Fastball slider the majority of the time, but he will use that changeup more to lefties.
And he walks Joyce. A 2-out walk. Matt heads to first.
Yeah, for a guy that doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, usually you get those borderline pitches, and that really wasn't even borderline. That was a good pitch.
And depending on the umpire's interpretation, Joyce could have been out on strikes, but not Bob Davidson.
No,
That
right.
was low for Bob. And here's Evan Longoria. First pitch strike.
Now, Bob has his own idea on a lot of things.
Here's the deal. It's a small strike zone until there's a runner on, gives him a chance to call a balk, and then we get back to normal business. Known for calling a lot of those balks. Joyce, the runner at first.
I like when you get real demonstrative like that. Like, let me tell you something. Just zip it for a minute because I got something good.
I don't know how good it is, but
hey,
it's just true.
It is, and there's a reason, Balk and Bob. Yep. Anytime you hear Bob Davidson, anybody who's been involved in a game, I don't care if you're a player, a broadcaster, a coach, Bob Davidson. Oh, Balk and Bob? Yeah, that's the one?
Yep, and he's been around a while. I think his first big league game was 1982. Swing and a miss, and Longoria out on 3 pitches. Rays leave a man. We go to the second inning. No score. Baseball on Sun Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Checkers. Big Philly flavor, small price. Checkers Philly cheesesteak. And the new Chicken Philly, each just $1.99. A 1-2-3 first for Jake Odorizzi. Aramis Ramirez will lead off. He's after the first pitch and fouls that one out of play. Strike one.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be a fun 3-game series.
You love these guys come out swinging the bats the way they do.
Yep.
Let's get it going.
Let's go. I mean,
Cut 0-2.
All around. You're going to get 3 very good pitching matchups. Looking forward to seeing the matchups. Matt Garza, you're going to get a chance to see him tomorrow. See David Price on Wednesday, Cobb. And then the way that these guys swing the bat.
So some good pitching matchup. It should be some fun baseball here with Milwaukee in town. There's Matt Garza of no-hit fame in a Rays uniform. And Ramirez is down on strikes. First strikeout for Jake.
And just overmatched in that at-bat. Jake Odorizzi going right after Ramirez. Look at that fastball, 4-seamer, catching a lot of plate. And how many times we see hitters underneath the fastball, and this one wasn't even elevated. But the bat dips underneath. Odorizzi picks up another strikeout.
Face Ricky Weeks, the designated hitter. There's a strike to start him. Slider. As we mentioned earlier, Odorizzi started his career in the Brewers organization. He was a first-round pick in 2008, and they had high marks for him in their minor league system. And when you look at what he did before he was involved in that big trade that sent him over to Kansas City in the Zach Greinke deal, first-round pick, and then traded in 2010. He was a big strikeout guy in the lower minors, working his way up through the Brewers system, and dealt to Kansas City. Liner into left, and Zobrist is there to make the catch. And Ricky Weeks is the second out. In fact, when you look at his strikeout total now, starting to carry that into the major leagues with this. I mean, that's impressive for the rookie right-hander.
Yeah, I mean, to be up with those names and ahead of David Price. Yeah, I mean, Strasburg, Kershaw, Darvish. I mean, these guys are the obviously dominant starting pitchers as far as it goes with wins, strikeouts, missing bats, and that's something that Jake has done. You know, the interesting thing is he does it without overpowering stuff, and he's got a good idea of what he's doing in the lower minor leagues, and if you do that, you'll rack up strikeouts down there. But typically you would say his stuff wouldn't translate to be a big strikeout guy in the big leagues.
Long towering fly ball to the opposite field and foul. That gives you an idea the power that Chris Davis carries with him to the plate. He really forced his way into this lineup because of his offense. They found a place for him in left when Braun went over to play right. So Chris Davis is in left, and boy, this guy has some kind of power.
Well, he's tied for the team lead in home runs. You saw 17, tied with Mark Reynolds in a lineup that features 6 hitters in double digits in home runs.
And there's the breakout of those guys in double figures, and Davis up there with Mark Reynolds topping the list. A little bit close. 2-2.
There's that split changeup, just fades off the plate. Good take, good call. Right back to it.
Cut foul ball. You know, if you go back a year in the National League, just a year and a handful of days, go back to late July of 2013, he's the 3rd leading home run hitter in the National League behind Stanton and Upton. Justin Upton with Atlanta. Giancarlo Stanton of the Miami Marlins. He's out short to first here. Escobar handling that one. Bottom half of inning 2 coming up. No score. 2 coming from the Trop. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SunSportsFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Kyle Loesch, the right-hander on the hill. It's Loney starting the night, hitting .283. Home runs and 47 runs batted in. Ground ball back to the mound. Grabbed by Loesch. Over to Reynolds at first, so 1 pitch, 1 out.
You know, Dwayne, we talked about the fact that Kyle Loesch, how consistent he has been all year for the Brewers. You know, when you look at his earned run average breakout per month, the high month is June at 3.38, low month of April at 2.70. So he really does not fluctuate at all. Gives you consistent performances time and again.
He throws a first pitch strike to Logan Forsythe. Forsythe in there tonight at second base. Not a lot of at-bats in most of this lineup for the Rays against Loesch, but Forsythe did face him 1 for 2 while Logan was a member of the Padres. He had a home run off him. 2 balls and a strike.
Logan getting an opportunity tonight, like you said, some familiarity. Last time that Loesch pitched against the Rays, 2011.
It's a 2-2 count. Escobar on deck had 11 at-bats against him in his career. Loney, who just grounded out, came in 5 of 18, a 278 average off him for his career. That's the extent. There's a strike on that outside edge. So Forsythe caught looking.
Well, as far as percentage pitch thrown, slider is number 2. This is a good one here, right on the outside corner. He's about 80% fastball slider to right-handed hitters, right around 70% to the lefties. And then that's when he'll also sprinkle in the curveball and the changeup.
Base is empty. Here's Escobar. That's a strike on the outside edge. Another slider.
He's another guy that's going to mix his sequences, mix his pitches well. He doesn't stay on one side of the plate, and he doesn't stay with one pitch for very long.
Lifted up the right field side. Reynolds out there coming in from right. Braun, and just inside the line, Braun makes the catch. On to the third, scoreless.
into the third inning. No hits in this game thus far. Joe Madden saw his team's 9-game winning streak go by the boards thanks in large part to David Ortiz's 3-run home run, which he admired for a while at home plate before getting to first base at around the 10-second mark and to home plate around the 30-second mark. Here was the Rays pitcher Chris Archer's reaction to the whole situation after the game.
When it comes to him on the field, I don't know what makes him think that he can showboat the way he does, and then nobody retaliate. Nobody look at him a funny way, or nobody pitch him inside. I don't know why he feels like that, but obviously he feels the way David said he does. He feels like he's bigger than the game. He feels like this show is all about him, which in reality, if I don't walk Daniel Nava, and if I don't give up an infield single to Pedroia, his one home run means nothing.
And afterwards, Ortiz said he's been in the big leagues about 2 days. And the other thing that came out of the Red Sox clubhouse and from some of the writers was that Chris Archer was the same guy who kissed his bicep after striking out Daniel Nava. Archer addressed that today, guys, and said, that was early in my career. I didn't know any better. I've learned. So that's the latest from the Rays clubhouse. Back to you.
All right. Boy, a lot going on in that report.
I mean, wow. That was packed with information.
Yes. Scooter Gennett leading off here in the third. The count of 1-1. It's foul back. So it's 1-2. And the long and the short of that is there was great restraint, I thought, by Archer, because the Rays had a game that they were going to try to win and not time to make it a personal situation. Red Sox, in this case, not going anywhere, and it doesn't make any difference if it's personal or not, apparently, in that situation. But you do think that somewhere down the line, at least the way the game has been constructed for a long time, that there will be some in some way that can be addressed.
The problem that I find with that, and I'm in complete agreement. The problem is that Chris addressed it like he did. So there will be a focus. When David pitches against the Red Sox next time, when Chris Archer pitches against the Red Sox next time, that's going to be what everybody's looking for, including the umpiring crew. So you don't say anything and then just take care of business down the road. Okay, but once those comments are out there, guess what? All eyes will be on it, and we'll see how it plays out.
Scooter Gennett called out on strikes on the slider. You know, you would be just a very effective PR consultant.
Well, you know,
that's great advice.
Hey, listen, I appreciate the kind words. You know, but I thought about that after I had read and heard his comments, and I thought, I wish, you know, you could have gotten to him before that and say, here's what you do, here's how you play it. You didn't see anything. You were watching for the ball. You have no opinion on anything. You talk about the game and the result of the game, your performance, and you move on. You don't give it anything. Let it die, and then you go take care of business.
1-0 pitch deep to left off the bat of Mark Reynolds. That one is gone. A fastball, and Reynolds hits his 18th home run of the year to make it 1-0 Milwaukee. Fly ball to left off the fastball.
Now, middle of the plate, and Mark Reynolds now with the team lead in home runs was tied to Chris Davis, and we know all about his power watching him all those years with the Orioles.
Segura comes out swinging, fouls the first pitch away. 12th home run this year given up by Odorizzi.
And you know the thing about it, going back to the Chris Archer deal, if you were going to handle it, or maybe he will, you know, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't even hit him. I would literally take that 95 or 96 that he has, and I would try to peel the Red Sox right off the front of his jersey and just send him sprawling. You know what I mean? Okay, ball one. Let's go. Get back up and let's play some baseball. I mean, it wouldn't even necessarily just. There you go. I didn't hit anybody. Get back in the box. Let's go.
See, again, sage advice from you. I'm writing this down. Put it in that little black book.
Well, the sad part is this is what I'm thinking about all last night. You get an evening after a ball game, and all of a sudden the Chris Archer comments come out. You read them, you see the interview, and then this is what I spend my night thinking about doing. It's kind of pathetic.
I think it's because you care.
Well,
ground ball, deep third. Nice pickup there. Longoria's throw is not going to be in time. Oh, some great glove work deep behind third, and it's a base hit for Segura.
Well, he was so deep, and the glove work, you're right, Dwayne, fantastic. This is a tough in-between hop off a backhand, but watch how quickly he gets rid of it. Just get it close and get it over there because Segura runs so well. It's not in time.
And one other thing about that Ortiz and Archer thing, too, I think if you address it that way, you tend to validate what they did. You just, so what? If you want to embarrass yourself like that,
right,
in front of the stage, in front of all these people, go ahead, flip the bat. Take 30 seconds to run around the bases. That reflects more on the guy who does it than the guy who gave up the home run and made that pitch.
My firm is going to put an offer sheet together, and you are hired.
This is big time business done right here. That's why people come to the ballpark. Make business deals. It's a social event. Ground ball to third by Gomez. Down the second one. First base. Not in time there. Close play at first base. Segura forced at second, and that was close. And here comes Joe Maddon out.
This is my favorite part of Major League Baseball, right here. The slow stroll to have a conversation while everybody looks at this. Both run well, Segura and Gomez. That is awfully, awfully close. Let's see, ball in the back of the glove, foot.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, they're going to take a look at it. Joe Maddon has requested they take a look at it. So he's going to roll the dice.
He's going to roll the dice, and it's going to come. What's a bad roll?
7.
Okay, then it's going to. That's a bad roll. That would seem to be a good one. Okay, he's going to crap out here because I think we're going to go with stands, not confirmed, not overturned, but stands. It's just my guess.
Well,
although that angle right there was their best shot. First two, little inconclusive. That last one, maybe some hope.
So you've got Bob Davidson over there and Bill Welke. They'll review it at Command Central.
Next time we go to New York, we should go on a tour.
We should. Maybe we could help with a call. So we're awaiting the outcome here on that play at first base.
Well, I'll give them this. They're doing their due diligence. These are like jury deliberations. You get the feeling like the longer this goes, the better for the Rays.
And this is a prolonged deliberation.
Yeah.
See Ron Rinicky on the right and Joe Maddon on the left. And the decision to be rendered in the center of your screen. And he is safe at first.
Well, there goes your challenge.
Yep.
And now anything between now and the 7th inning, the Rays, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be able to challenge it. And I think that's the only way you could go with that call right there was stands. You can't confirm it, I don't think, because it was that close.
Jonathan Lucroy. He came in not only hitting .310, tied for 5th in the league, but he is the league's leading hitter over in the National League on the road. His road average is pushing .350 coming into the game. I think at .349.
This team has actually played better on the road. 8 games above 500 at 29 and 21, and obviously being led by their catcher. And keep your eye on Carlos Gomez. You know, you think about the stolen base threats on this team. Segura was 16, Gomez 19 out of 23.
Yeah, he's tied for 6th in the National League.
And a pretty good lead too, as you use that cutout as a guide.
And Odorizzi has done a nice job of curtailing the opposing running game. So it's a nice little matchup here.
You're right about that. I mean, what is it, 2 out of 7 with a couple of pickoffs. Very good numbers from a right-handed pitcher.
Back to first again. The official ruling on the challenge is that the call stands. We're right on that one.
I've got good people working for me.
Odorizzi's been touched for the home run. 2 outs with a runner aboard. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Gets ahead of Lucroy with a slider. Runner goes, pitch up, throw is not in time. Safe the call down there at second base by John Tompane. Close. And Gomez picks up his 20th steal.
Boy, this is very, very close. I think you're going to see right here this short hop. The glove from Forsythe comes up and then back down. And here's the deal. That's a close play, but you can't challenge. You don't have any. You've got to. You've lost it already. I don't know. I think that foot does get there before the tag anyway. But let's say he does get that tag firmly on the foot. Too bad. You can't do anything about it at this point.
Well, 2 very close plays involving Gomez, this time on the bases. Ball 2. Odorizzi looked back there, which shortened Gomez's lead. He had a pretty good sized lead and then retreated a bit when Odorizzi checked him before he made the pitch.
He wants to time him up and get a moving lead towards third. A lot of good base steals will tell you stealing third is easier than stealing second.
2-2 now.
They're able to get a little bit bigger lead, and if you don't stop them, they get a moving start towards third, and they're off to the races. Although right here with the way Lucroy has swung the bat on the road, I think I let him just try to drive me in. Already in scoring position. Good enough speed, he should score on a hit.
There he goes. Hit on the ground to third. Longoria's got it. Throw to first in time. That's going to retire the side. Brewers settle for 1. Bottom of the third coming. 1-0 Milwaukee. The third in tonight's game and all season long. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Jose Molina is going to lead off the home half of the inning. Rays facing 35-year-old right-hander Kyle Loesch. Molina's taking the first pitch, a curveball, and that's in there for a strike.
And that's the pitch that Loesch will use a lot of times, just like that. First pitch to get ahead.
Ground ball handled by Segura, the shortstop, and a lot of time to get Molina. One away. Loesch does not waste any time. Kevin Kiermaier makes his way to the plate. Loesch first got to the big leagues with the Minnesota Twins, and he had a couple back-to-back seasons there early in his career. His second year in the major leagues, he was a 13-game winner, 13-8, 14-11 the year following. That was in 02 and 03. Strike one as Kiermaier shortens on the bat. The Twins and the Reds and the Phillies, the Cardinals for a time. He went 16-3 with the Cardinals in 2012. And now the last couple years here pitching for the Brewers.
We talked a little bit about him in the pregame show, and since 2011 he has 52 wins, and in the National League that is tied for third with Zach Greinke.
How about that? A ball, 2 strikes. Kiermaier up after the pitch, and he's out on strikes. Third strikeout for Loesch.
Well, tell me, Dwayne, is this pretty good company here or what?
I'm telling you, when you look at that list and the strikeout list of Odorizzi,
yeah,
these two starters here tonight in very tall cotton. Desmond Jennings, which is high, 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0 the count. Two-one. Loesch establishes an early rhythm and stays right with it. A strike thrower. Comes even in the count now, 2-2.
You know how we always talk about that split between going from 1-1 to 1-2 or 2-1? This guy right here is one of the guys, very few, that has very little change in his numbers based on that count. And that's because veteran, he doesn't get predictable. This entire at bat here with Desmond Jennings, it was breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball, then a 2-1 fastball. Okay, that's what you want, but he put it in a good spot. Back to the slider. He just doesn't get predictable, and that comes with a lot of experience. You know, you contrast that with, you know, Jake Odorizzi and the on-base percentage in those two counts. The difference is double. It goes from 190 to 380, and that's just being young and predictable.
But the more confidence and more accomplished they become with command of all those pitches, then you go, look, I've got all of these pitches how am I going to use them?
Yeah.
And you just execute pitches.
That's right. And you never give in bad counts because you can command more than one or two.
Yeah, those are the two areas of pitching that must be so satisfying. One of them is that when you have an arsenal of pitches and you can just pick whichever one in whatever situation. I mean, how great a feeling is that?
You know, listen, to be able to go out there with 3 or 4 and, like you said, command all of them, yeah, you just become a surgeon.
Ground ball headed to short. That's picked up by Segura. Throw to first. 3 up, 3 down. On to the 4th we go. It's 1-0 Milwaukee.
Early morning today, just to put some smiles on some kids' faces as we go to the top of the 4th. Brewers with a 1-0 lead. He is in his 3rd year of hosting a mentoring program called Jennings Juniors. It's all part of the Rays Dugout Club. He spent his morning talking to the kids about eating right, staying active, and you know the kids absolutely loved his attention. He was hopping around with them on one foot, doing jumping jacks, lunges, you name it. They really enjoyed his presence, guys. And Ron Porterfield also paid a visit, talked to them about hydration, really important right now in Florida. And Orestes actually hosted the event. Well done, guys.
Ron Porterfield right in the middle of the action again. Rays head trainer. Ryan Braun shoots one into center field. And Jennings is there to make the catch. One gone. Ramos Ramirez, the third baseman, due up next.
Well, the one thing that this Brewers lineup will do for you as a starting pitcher is you realize if this is a night where you have your pitches working, you've got pretty good command, you understand that you can get a lot of early in the count outs, quick innings.
A strike to Ramirez off the slider.
If the stuff is a little sloppy and the command's not there, you are praying for atom balls.
1-1. Rays have the shift on for Ramirez. We're loading the left side of the infield, Forsythe the shortstop side of second. 2-2. Changeup had him out in front. Ricky Weeks on deck. He's the DH. and a foul tip strikeout. Molina came up with that one. Ramirez out number 2.
Got him for the second time on a fastball to strike him out, and here it is, and he's going to get a little piece of this. But watch right there, able to snow cone that. Jose Molina hold on for out number 2.
Molina showing that to Bob Davidson. Oh, Ricky Weeks. Strike call. Fouled up the first base side in front of their first base coach, Garth Org. Org's just moving out of the way there. Two strikes the count on Weeks. He takes the slider out of the zone, and a take by Weeks. It's 1-2. Gives out on strikes. Slider gets him. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and 1, 2, 3 go the Brewers. 1-0 Milwaukee. Of the 4th with Ben Zobrist preparing to lead off. Get together with all your favorite fans of the 2013 National Champion Seminoles at Chop of the Trop this Sunday. Watch the Rays take on the Angels from a discounted seat in the lower level and receive a Rays FSU hat. Bobby Bowden will throw out the first pitch. Visit RaysBaseball.com/special events. Zobrist, Joyce, and Longoria coming up against Kyle Loesch. Get their second look of the night at the veteran right-hander. Ball, no strikes. A curveball in there for a strike. 1-1. Two and one.
Well, this is one of those counts right here, so let's see what he does. Misses with that fastball. Now behind.
Liner into center field. In there for a base hit. Gomez to his left to cut it off, and he's going to hold Zobrist to a single. Big turn by Zobrist, who had a decision to make and held on to the base hit.
Probably the smart move here with nobody out. But you see that fastball up in the zone, but Ben Zobrist has that flat swing that he keeps in the zone for a long time, and he's able to pop that out there and think about it. But with nobody out, no reason to risk that.
Rays get their second base runner of the game. Their first hit, a leadoff single in the fourth. Matt Joyce facing Loesch. It's too low.
Well, Matt Joyce had a very good at-bat his first time up and working a walk. I hope that bodes well here. Have a good at-bat, see a lot of pitches, get an idea of release point, spin. And now go to work with the runner on.
That was the toss over there. That's another thing Loesch has done. He has checked the running game quite well. Opponents has 2 steals and 9 attempts. Good cut by Joyce on the fastball up.
Well, he's given up no more than 9 stolen bases since 2007. He gave up 12 that year. And anytime you're able to keep teams or the league in single digits over the course of a season from a right-handed pitcher, that's excellent. Excellent work.
Foul right back into the screen. 1-2 off speed pitch to him. Zobrist aboard at first. Longoria on deck. Ben had that great series against Boston. On base 9 of his 12 plate appearances in that series.
Since June the 28th, Ben Zobrist has the highest on-base percentage in the American League. He's really been getting it done, and that accounts for the first 3-4 games after the All-Star break where he really scuffled. Cranked it back up once again after getting back home.
Long drive back into right, but not deep enough. Braun, about 3 steps from the track, makes the catch. That's the first out.
Boy, Matt Joyce just missed that. He got a little bit out in front, that ball a little bit towards the end of the bat. And that's just how close. 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch. Backdoor slider, and you're going to see it right there off the end of the bat. He waits back just a little bit, and that's way gone.
Evan Longoria. Pitch inside 1-0. I don't know if you noticed, it was a great shot of his eyes on contact there. You talk about, it was the old kind of a wives' tale that you see contact. Well, you're not going to see contact. In fact, I think his eyes were closed when he hit that ball.
You make your decision. The ball's way out in front of the plate.
You throw to first, that's going to be close.
You just don't have time. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball is going to get the home plate in about 4/10 of a second.
Yep.
And your decision's got to come a whole lot quicker than that. So you're going to see right here, yeah, he's already started his swing. And you can see at contact, yeah, those eyes are shut just after it. I'll tell you what, he can feel it and hear it, though.
Yep. Well, that's why pitchers can have success with late movement.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get guys like, you think of the slider from Chris Archer, you think about Alex Cobb's changeup, and those are pitches that stay in the zone and stay on the same plane for a long time. And a hitter, they may know it's coming, but they're forced to, okay, it's out there, and it still looks like it's going to be a strike, especially when they're ahead. I got to start to commit towards a swing, and that's when it starts its movement out of the zone. And that's what you call a late break.
Zobrist goes. The pitch fouled up the right side toward the bullpen by Evan. The count is 1-1.
There's some other guys that will throw breaking balls that are a little slurvier or not as tight, and they'll start a rolling break. And you can recognize that earlier and decide to take it or jump all over it. But Chris Archer's slider, it looks like a fastball, and then it just boom. I mean, down and away from the right-handed hitter, and Cobb's changeup.
Yeah.
It's coming in there, floating in there, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah. It's too late to make any kind of adjustment. You've already made your commitment, mentally and physically, if you're a hitter.
The only thing you can do is try to lengthen that swing and foul it off or bloop it in. I mean, you're certainly not going to drive that pitch unless they hang.
One ball, one strike to count to Longoria. Kicks it inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, he wants to move Evan back so that he can go away. And so Evan, a smart hitter, I think that's something that he will be looking for here. Middle of the plate away, and hope that he gets a mistake, whether it be the slider or the fastball.
Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled back. He came with the slider. Evan fouled it back into the right.
Second time through the order, so you start to change up a little bit on your sequencing.
Play, covering a lot of ground out there.
Looked like a little bit unsure there towards the end. Milwaukee, this is a team that doesn't roll through here very often, and this roof here at Tropicana Field can play tricks with guys and be tough to navigate. See, his eyes never leave the baseball, but that also isn't a route you're typically going to see from Carlos Gomez either.
Yeah, he's a Gold Glove center fielder. Covers a lot of ground, and the key there, as you pointed out, keeping your eye on the ball. Take your eye off that and try to pick it up again. It's a flip of the coin.
How about yesterday with Chris Archer?
Yeah.
Running over towards the dugout. Eyes come off the ball to see where the dugout, the railing was coming, and then go back up. Too late. You already overran it.
Foul ball puts Loney down in the count, 2 strikes. Runner goes. Good jump this time, and the throw's not in time. So a steal by Zobrist as the count goes to 1-2.
Did Segura try to tag him between his legs? This ball was on the shortstop side of second base, and let's see if he tries to. Yeah, I like it. A little improvisation.
Shortest distance between 2 points, a straight line. Catch the ball, straight line. If it happens to be between your legs, I guess he gives it a shot. But a good jump by Zobrist. 2-2. When you pick up a steal there, that could be a big play by Ben.
Yep.
In a 1-run ball game.
And a good time to go. 2 outs, looking to create something. Especially with Loney at the plate, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
foul. He stays alive. And you could see after that steal the body language of Loesch. He was disappointed that he allowed Zobrist to get that kind of jump.
Well, he's one of those guys that has attention to detail, great attention to detail. And, you know, in that situation, Ben can run a little bit. He's a good base runner. Not a prolific base stealer, but a good base runner. But with James Loney at the plate and 2 outs, if he's going to go, that's the time to do it. And Kyle, I think, saying to himself, I should have known better. You're absolutely right.
Swing and a miss. That pitch coming in on Loney. The slider right in on the hands to get him. Rays leave a man at second. We're through 4. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. Fifth inning with the Brewers leading the Rays. Friday, August 1st, you can get a pair of Joe Madden wine glasses exclusively with the purchase of a Tampa Bay Times ticket tandem when the Rays take on the Angels. No need to choose between red and white since you get 2 glasses. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com/tandems or call 888-FAN-RAYS.
Be a whole lot cooler if they came filled.
Can't argue with that.
We'll try it out during that game. That'll make this 6th, 7th inning on fun.
Very interesting. Chris Davis takes the pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Blue Jays have a 4-0 lead in New York over the Yankees in the top of the 4th. Big swing right there by Davis. See a lot of power generated by that cut.
Do you think that Molina at some point is just like uncle? You know, I'm tired of it. I'm a target. I get hit more than any catcher in the game. He gets popped every night.
Yep. At least once. Sometimes it's a multiple situation.
And now it's been the glove in the wrist. He gets hit there. How many times has he been dosed on that mask where he's, standing 8 count?
Ground ball foul.
Speaking of which, have you seen our notes today? Did a great job.
Yep.
A lot of good information in here.
One and 2, the count to Davis. Even now, 2-2. Scooter Gennett on deck. down the left field side, but he pulled it foul. Well, we've talked about the power Davis has supplied this team, and we're seeing some vicious cuts.
Well, listen, he's trying to get back into that tie. Mark Reynolds already homering in this ball game, taking the team lead, and Davis looking to.
There's a swing, a little roller, going to be foul. When are those wine glasses, those Joe Madden glasses coming? Is that Friday?
Mine are here now, apparently.
I'm just wondering if maybe they delivered them early. But that'll be Friday, folks, when the Angels are in town.
I'm looking forward to that one and the Will Myers bike horn.
The bike horn is the best. Oh, we just missed there with a fastball. The count is full. 3-2 to Davis. Another big cut. That's all this guy takes.
Yeah, these guys do not get cheated. They do not cut down on their swing. At least most of them don't. This guy doesn't. Mark Reynolds doesn't. But they're one of those teams. They force you to have to pitch to the corners, and if you don't, they make you pay.
Towering fly ball right center with Carey. Kiermaier to the wall, and he got it. Kevin Kiermaier stayed with it. You can see him start to feel for the wall. That was a towering blast, and Odorizzi says, boy, I'm glad I'm done with this guy this time around.
Yeah, that thing went about as far into the outfield as it went high. I mean, that was a shot. And it gets that kind of carry. And Kiermaier able to make that catch just in front of the wall out there in deep right center field.
Scooter Gennett pops it foul, out of play. Brewers have been impressed with Gennett. He was in a little under half their games last year, dividing time at Nashville and Milwaukee, and they really see him as the everyday second baseman in their future. Young man out of Sarasota, went to high school there. 2 strikes the count. The story is he was all set to go to Florida State and was drafted by the Brewers. Told them he was going to go to Florida State. A swing and a miss, out on strikes for the second time. A change got him right there.
Jake Odorizzi enjoying a laugh at his own expense as he was walking off the mound heading to the dugout. He thought there were 3 outs. Watch this. This is like job well done.
Well, Davis, that's why that Davis at bat seemed like at least 2.
Nice recovery, though.
Mark Reynolds. The pitch is the ball. 1-0.
Yeah, you think if anybody knew how many outs there would be, it would be the pitcher. That's too good.
I'm telling you, he worked so hard against Davis, and Davis had all those big swings. That was like you had to work like you were getting 2 outs at one at bat. That was a scary at bat, those cuts he took.
Oh yeah, and that's why you've got to be. You cannot afford to leave pitches just hanging out over the plate. You've got to really concentrate on your location, drive the ball to its spot. But you know what? When you swing big like that all the time, you also leave yourself susceptible.
Shot deep right center off the bat of Reynolds. This one to the wall and a grab by Kiermaier out there. Kiermaier about 2.5, 3 steps in front of the wall. Got out there and here's that little leap short of the wall. But he makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning. 1-0 Milwaukee.
Milwaukee 1-0. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Angels are in town over the weekend, and the first 20,000 fans on Saturday night will get this Joe Madden, Mr. Potato Head. And it's going to be with the Angels in town, so all his buddies will be here from the Angels. He said, I can't wait to sign this for Mike Scioscia. Look, the hat comes off. We'll show you in just a second as Logan Forsythe leads off here to start the inning. The hat comes off, and right there, boom, you can take the eyeglasses off of the nose, and there you go. It's a Mr. Potato Head with Joe Madden. It's got Madden on the back, 70, and it's courtesy of GTE Financial. Guys, first 20,000 fans on Saturday. Go to RaysBaseball.com or visit 888-FAN-RAYS. Back to you.
Joe will show that to all of the staff on the Angels and go, hey, how about this?
Yeah. Any of you have a Mr. Potato Head? I didn't think so.
Talk to you later. 1-2 the count on Logan Forsythe. There it is. Hey, look, a little. You can wave with that glove.
And see, he's got the ball and the glove as opposed to the pen and that little sheet that he carries around.
Yeah, that's what he should have.
Yeah. When was the last time he put a glove on?
And if he had a glove, it should probably be a catcher's mitt.
That's right.
So there you go. I don't know who the technical advisor was on that, but
maybe those come off too.
Forsythe up here with a 2-2 count, but it's still quite charming.
Listen, the giveaways here with the Rays at Tropicana Field are unique. Yeah. And there are so many of them that you've got to be pretty creative.
And look at all the different things you can do with that. Todd's like the quickest draw in the West with that. 3-2 on Forsythe.
This is what Todd does for the next 3 innings. Look at him.
This is bye. Yeah, Todd's having way too much fun. So a full count to Forsythe with Escobar and Molina due next. Pop down the right side. That ball will fall. Forsythe hustling his way into second, gonna go for three. The throw is in time. Forsythe tagged out at third. How about that? Dropped inside the line up the right field side. And Segura, the shortstop, got over there and made a relay throw back to third.
Well, and it was him barehanding it that gave him a chance. Right here, one hop, bare hand, turn, fire. A strong throw, and the tag definitely there. And actually, again, it wouldn't matter if it wasn't, because the Rays do not have a challenge. But what a play. You talked about that hit by Todd. There was a lot going on in that. A lot going on in this play. From that ball dropping in fair territory, eluding three defenders, to the relay throw, and the bare hand by Segura, and the strike to Ramirez.
Well, Forsythe dropped it inside the line for a double, and he's out trying to go to third. 3-6-5. There's a strike. Well, you appreciate the effort there. Boy, it's tough to lose that runner. There's a high fly ball left center, and Davis makes the catch for the second out. That's a tough first out there at third.
Yeah.
Rays. You know, you drop one inside the line, you get two, try to take three, and it's a gamble. And if you lose, not too good.
You know, it's what's the old baseball cliche? You don't want to make the first or the third out at third base.
Yep.
You know, you're already in scoring position. And Logan Forsythe, you know, this team, though, the Rays are very aggressive on the base pass, and that's encouraged by Joe Madden. This one, though, did not work out.
Molina to deep short. He's out of there, and so the Rays do not score. In the fifth, we go to the sixth. 1-0 Milwaukee. Run came on this fastball, a 1-0 pitch in the third. Mark Reynolds sent it into the stands and left. Kyle Loesch has allowed the Rays just 2 hits and a walk, 4 strikeouts through 5 innings. Both pitchers at 66 pitches through 5.
And so far it's been a well-played game outside of that home run there by Mark Reynolds. And you talk about interesting headwear. How about this? Part Packer fan, part Ray fan.
Now there is a transition. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, known for the cheesehead look, but this one attired in Rays regalia. A little Gasparilla bead work as well.
The Joe Gnome.
Should be bigger, suitable for front yards everywhere. Gene Segura leads off the 6th. Pitch is a strike at the knees.
I'm with you on that. Well, that'd be a tough giveaway. It'd be like handing out fire hydrants.
Ground ball for Escobar. Quick throw to first. Segura is out number 1. Back around to the top of the order. Carlos Gomez.
Number 27, Carlos Gomez.
Gomez, nothing of 2, reached on a fielder's choice and picked up a stolen base after the first pitch and fouls it. You know, when Dale Swaim was with the Brewers as a hitting coach, they talked with Gomez about he's going to lead off a lot, try to get him to play a little more little ball, bunt the ball, maybe take a pitch or 2. And I think it was Swaim who said, look, forget about bunting. You still bunt once in a while, but just swing as hard as you can. He goes, you're going to get infield hits just on balls that you miss-hit. Little rollers, you're going to beat them all out. It's the same as a bunt, so just swing away, and you're going to hit the ball hard. You get extra base hits, some home runs, and the balls that you don't hit squarely, with your speed, you're going to get infield hits. Seems to be working out. Lifts it into left, and in comes Zobrist. Escobar is out for it from short to make that catch. 2 gone.
Well, Dwayne, he's one of 4 major league players that have 15+ home runs and 15+ stolen bases. So it's absolutely true. Good speed. He's able to drive the ball, hit those home runs, get some doubles. And you're right, balls in the hole he's going to be able to beat out, swinging bunts. You know, when a guy swings like that and shows that kind of power, infield plays back. Yep. Infield plays back. Choppers are in play now for hits.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. Lucroy takes the pitch high. Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher, go for 2. The knees, it's 1-1. Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lucroy, with 12 home runs, he has 34 doubles. And he's not afraid to hit the ball the other way. In fact, the Rays have Jennings in center, shaded toward right center because of that. Two and two.
And pretty much even up on the infield. Your traditional defense, but you're right. And you know, you got Zobrist out there in left field, pulled off of the line, and Jennings, like you said, shading the right center field gap. Kiermaier pretty much straight up.
Another foul ball holds the count at 2-2.
Well, there's that breakout that you talked about that will force a pretty straight up type of defense. A little shading in the outfield never hurt anybody.
Takes a look at a pitch wide. 3-2. Ryan Braun is on deck. Another foul ball, so LaCroix making Odorizzi work a little extra here in the 6th inning. 3-2, skied to left. Zobrist will have plenty of room, makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3-6 through 5.5, 1-0 Milwaukee. Down by a run in the bottom of the sixth. As promised earlier, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag SunSportsFanPhoto for a chance to be shown at an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Kevin Kiermaier struck out swinging in the third inning. Leads it off in the bottom of the sixth. Oh no, not much doing so far for the Rays. Leadoff single from Zobrist in the fourth. He eventually stole second and was stranded there. They got a two-out walk in the first from Matt Joyce. He was left on. Forsythe dropped that two-base hit just inside the right field line, but was thrown out trying to go to third. Cut. Kiermaier pops it up, foul as the ball drifts out of play. 2-1.
Well, this would be an ideal spot to get Kiermaier on base. A leadoff base runner with his kind of speed going around to the top of the lineup for the third time. This is how Joe Madden envisions the bottom of the lineup rolling over.
Now it's 3-1.
Yep, got a good chance here. A lot of things can go right. Should get a pretty good pitch to hit.
Lifts it into left. Davis a few steps to his right. One gone. Now it's back around to the top of the order. Desmond Jennings twice tonight is grounded out to Gene Segura, the shortstop. There's a first pitch strike. Blue Jays lead the Red Sox 4-0. Top of the sixth at Fenway. One ball, two strikes. Melky Cabrera had homered in that game. Swing and a miss. Jennings out on strikes. That's number 5 for Loesch.
Husband Jennings had seen so many sliders his first couple of at-bats. That's kind of what you're thinking here, but Loesch is going to go with the fastball. Look at that late movement on it. He's able to get it right by Desmond. Now that's all about being a veteran pitcher and realizing how you've pitched a guy his first couple of at-bats, what he may be looking for, and then going in an opposite direction.
It's a strike to Ben Zobrist. The Yankees have a run in the first and the third inning in the game they're playing in Arlington, Texas. It's 1-0 New York over the Rangers. Pitching that game for Texas tonight. Now 2-1 to Zobrist. Gardner hitting the home run. The Yankees to account for the only run of the game. Now 3-1. Breaking pitch missing.
Zobrist was able to exploit a fastball in a 2-1 count. His last at bat, hammered it out into right center field, and now even better setup here at 3-1. There you go.
He draws the walk. Comes with 2 outs, and we'll get Matt Joyce up here. Zobrist on again. All over the bases, as we mentioned in the Boston series, reaching 9 of 12 plate appearances, 2 of 3 here in this series against Milwaukee.
Matt Joyce flew out to right field that last at bat, a slider that he just was a hair out in front of.
Let's see if he can square one up here.
Yep. Ben Zobrist with a good at bat in front of him. All those plate appearances the last few days. Good eye at the plate, command of his strike zone, and maybe that buys Joyce an opportunity here.
Joyce tried to check in the middle of that one on an off-speed pitch. Some movement down. That's strike 1.
Not able to hold up. You know, this is the same scenario as last time when Ben Zobrist was able to swipe second base. Kyle Loesch was not real happy with himself over that. Ben's got a good lead here again.
There's one the other way, fair into left field. Zobrist will go to third. And Joyce made a big turn and decided to hold on at first. The Rays have been on the corners with 2 outs.
Well, Matt Joyce, who's been swinging the bat very well here in July, and he goes the other way again. Fastball, 2-seamer, moving away off the end of the bat, but he hit it to the right spot. Everybody kind of swung around a little bit on Matt, as you'll see that quite a bit. And he finds room, and the Rays find life. 2 outs, 2 runners aboard.
There's Evan Longoria. Key spot in the 6th with 2 outs. Strike 1, and boy, that pitch in.
Almost a predetermined swing. This is almost a ball right out of the hand, right on the corner. That late movement takes it in and really ties up Evan.
Well, we saw him get in to Loney with a slider back in the 4th inning that really tied him up. time Longoria takes this one about the same location, a little closer in the upper 80s. 1-1 to count. Only run of this game so far came in the third on a Mark Reynolds home run. Rays with 2 outs have put men on the corners. 2 balls and a strike.
And a nice block there by Jonathan Lucroy. Runner on third, 2 outs. You've got to be active behind the plate. Slider in the dirt. And go right down textbook and keep that right in front and close.
Three and one. Popped up, foul. That's going to carry out a play and run the count all the way out to 3-2. Well, the biggest spot in this game for the Rays so far tonight, right here.
And that's why you saw that little meeting on the mound. What do you want to go with? This is the big pitch.
Zobrist on third, Joyce on first, 2 outs. Full count to Longoria.
Retired him his last time up on a changeup. Does he go changeup? Does he go slider? Tough to say. He will throw anything.
And he missed inside. He tried to throw off speed. And it stayed in off the plate. Look at that. There's that split.
Yep. Right there, the changeup. And watch Bob Davidson flinch. There was an early flinch right there. That was close.
Yes, it was.
Everybody waiting around for the final call. Well, and it doesn't get any easier either. James Loney now coming to the plate.
And what that walk does is push Joyce up to second. So the Rays will have 2 men in scoring position with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And Loney, who's 0 for 2, and had a very tough time on that slider in that just continued to run in on his hands and struck him out in the 4th.
Well, this is where he does his good work, not just because of those numbers, but later in the game, meaningful at-bats, runners in scoring position, really is able to slow the game down and focus.
Could be the key to the entire night right here. Bases loaded, Loney at the plate, and he fouls the first pitch back. A breaking ball.
You don't see a lot of guys going up there swinging at a first pitch curveball, but the Rays hitters have seen enough of that tonight from Kyle Loesch that James Loney felt like he had a pretty good chance at that pitch right there that stayed in the middle of the plate and just fouled it off.
Into right center field. That's going to drop. Base hit. Zobrist has scored. Here comes Joyce. And the Rays lead 2-1. Loney found the perfect spot into short right center. Scoring 2, and it's 2-1 Tampa Bay.
You can trace this all the way back to the 2-out walk to Zobrist. That's what got it started. This ball right off the label, and it just comes off the bat deadened and finds a spot out there in the outfield.
So the Rays come up with 2 in the 6th. Gives Loney 49 runs batted in for the year and gives the Rays a 1-run lead. There's Logan Forsythe. Pitch away.
Where the Rays seemingly in this inning were going to go nowhere. But Zobrist walks. Joyce hits one the other way. Longoria walks on a full count pitch. And then Loney drops one in.
It's a strike. 1-1. Finally, the Rays push something across the plate against Loesch. They had not had many opportunities prior to the 6th. 2-1. Zobrist and Joyce have scored the runs. Two and two. Action in the Milwaukee bullpen down the left field line. Jeremy Jeffress, and he is a hard thrower. Two. Forsythe stays alive, fouling that slider out of play. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Fastball that time, and Forsythe got enough to stay alive.
Well, he's done a nice job of, fouling off that fastball. He's been better on the slider, staying on that. You just wonder here if Kyle Loesch doesn't come with a changeup, as he has continued to work him fastball slider all game long. This would be the time in the 2-2 count if you wanted to go with something different. Go with that changeup.
2-2. Strike 3 call. And I'm looking at a slider to retire the side. Rays get a big hit from James Loney, dropping a single into right center to give the Rays a 2-1 lead. Braves now lead 2-1 with Jake Odorizzi on the hill. Tomorrow's Game 2 starters presented by Chevron. It will be the former Ray, Matt Garza, with a record of 7-7, opposing Alex Cobb. Alex looking for his 7th win. We'll be with you beginning at 6:30 tomorrow on Sun Sports. with our pregame coverage. On to the 7th inning we go in this one. Ryan Braun, Aramis Ramirez, and Ricky Weeks due up for Milwaukee. Well, the Blue Jays scored 5 in the 6th. It's now 9-0 Blue Jays over the Red Sox. Melky Cabrera hit a second home run in that game. He has 14. Derek Jeter has 2 hits tonight in the Yankee game against the Texas Rangers in Arlington. Doubled for career hit 3,419, and that ties him with Carl Yastrzemski for 7th on the all-time list. First pitch, Ryan Braun takes a strike.
Huge inning here for Jake Odorizzi. His offense has given him the lead, and now he's cutting through the heart of this powerful Brewer lineup, starting here with Braun.
And a foul ball. Big cut, 0-2.
And with that being said, you see the bullpen starting to stir. And one of Joe's late inning choices, Brad Boxberger, going to be the guy.
Braun hits a towering fly ball to right. Kiermaier has room and makes the catch just in foul territory.
With 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah, he is sometimes spring-loaded and action-packed out there and right.
I think it took some discipline on his part to not give it a little hop there at the end. As long as you catch the ball, who cares, right?
Yep. Ramirez. Pitch away. 1 ball, no strikes. Popped up. That's going to carry out a play. Now 1-1. The Rays took 2 out of 3 from Boston. Looking for the sweep yesterday. Didn't happen as they dropped that game 3-2. So the 9-game winning streak was snapped, the second longest in club history. They had a 12-gamer back in 2004. The Rays trying to get back on the winning side of the ledger tonight, and they've taken a 2-1 lead as we play in the top of the 7th. A little number, that's going to be tough. Barehanded attempt by Longoria, but underneath him. And it rolls out to Escobar, an infield hit for Ramirez.
Well, Jake Odorizzi had struck out Aramis Ramirez twice with fastballs. He goes with the changeup here, and it's almost a check swing, little dribbler. And it was going to be do or die. I don't think they would have gotten him anyway, but certainly not going to get him when that ball eludes the hand.
Infield hit for Ramirez. That's Ricky Weeks to the plate. Who started this day 7.5 back of Baltimore, 4.5 back of Toronto for the second wild card spot. Shot to right field, catchable for Kiermaier, makes the grab. Kiermaier taking a little peek out of the left corner of his eye there on Ramirez at first, but no opportunity to double him off. 2 outs with Ramirez at first, and Chris Davis, who had that long and extended at bat in the 5th inning, but to Odorizzi, it seemed like 2 at bats before he got him on a fly ball to right. Pitch is low and outside. And this guy Davis with big time power. strike. Well, you can tell Davis is up there to swing the bat and swing it hard. Fly ball right field, long run for Kiermaier, but he is there and makes the catch. And that'll do it in the 7th. They leave a man. Rays lead it 2-1. Game, it's 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Get the coolest bike accessory at Family Fun Day, presented by the Tampa Bay Times, Sunday, August 3rd, when the Rays host the Angels. Kids 14 and under. We get a Will Myers bike horn, presented by Crown Automotive Group. While supplies last, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com today. He's hoping to have Will Myers back in the middle of August. And
how about this?
There's Todd Callis delivers. How about that?
Yeah, that's good. Right there. Right on the handle. Probably go right handle. No, left. Got the bad thumb.
Yeah.
Left.
We talked to Will today. He really likes the face. He thinks it's good facial features. Likes the nose a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a little pale. That's what he said. I thought I was a little pale.
He's been working.
Yeah, well,
he's been working. He does play in a dome.
That's pretty good. That's going to be a great item. One of the best of all time. Big cut and a miss by Escobar. A little foul ball. Got a little piece of it. Strike one.
You know, and the best part about it is when you set it up on the bike handle, he's always facing it.
That's important.
It is.
And you get to squeeze his head.
Pinch his ears. Unfortunately, Dwayne, it does not come with his greatest quotes of all time.
That'll be next time. Base hit the other way for Escobar. Leadoff single here in the 7th. Jeremy Jeffress, the new pitcher out here, and the Rays put a man on. First man he faces.
Well, pitch stays middle in, and Escobar, nice job up in the box. That seems to be where he is most comfortable. He stays inside that baseball and gives the Rays their leadoff man aboard here with nobody out, looking to add to that 1-run lead.
Jeffress had been pitching at AAA Nashville. 2 games covering it, an inning and a third for the Brewers. Leadoff bunts and does so foul. That's a strike. Jeffress It's Saturday against New York against the Mets. Been in 30 games at Nashville. Was 4-1 with a 151 earned run mark. Second in time, throw to first in time there, and Molina trying to sacrifice, bunts into a double play.
Now that's always the risk. We've seen this happen earlier this season. Molina bunting into a double play, but he gets his ball coming in on him. The barrel gets to the baseball and it gets quickly to Jeffress. Now a nice job by Segura to be able to secure the throw. Return it to first base to get Molina.
Yeah, they turned that double play despite a bad throw back there from Jeffress. And Segura saved the day. It's Kevin Kiermaier. One 1-0 to Kevin. Count. Jeffress was originally selected by the Brewers in the 06 draft, and he was part of the Zach Greinke deal. Went to Kansas City briefly. Then the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays designated him for assignment in early April this year. 1-2. And now here he is back in the big leagues with the Brewers, and that velocity sometimes can hit 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, we've seen him earlier this year, and Jeffress, you love his arm. He's another one of those guys, big time stuff. You talk about the velocity, but he can also be all over the place with the command.
2-2. Same two teams tomorrow night, and Alex Cobb opposes Matt Garza. A great pitching matchup between those two right-handers. This one deflecting off Jeffress over to third. Ramirez with a pickup and no play. Kiermaier has a base hit. Up the middle and deflecting off the pitcher Jeffress to third.
Well, any little misdirection is going to make it difficult to be able to retire Kiermaier getting out of the box from the left side, and no chance for Ramirez here. Another opportunity here to potentially send Kiermaier.
Yep.
2 outs. Put him in motion.
Thinking exactly that. Rays have a 2-1 lead, and Kiermaier with some speed aboard over there at first. Desmond Jennings at the plate. Pitch inside to Desmond. Jennings looking for his first hit of the night. A couple of ground balls to short. Struck out his last time. Rays stole a base in the 4th inning. Zobra's got a great jump off the starter Loesch and stole second base. Kiermaier at first with 2 outs here in the 7th inning with Jeffress on the mound. Ground ball chopped to short. Long throw for Segura, but it's there in time. And the Rays are out in the 7th. Couple of hits. They leave one. On to the 8th. Performance presented by Volkswagen. 24-year-old Jake Odorizzi pitching very well tonight. Gone after 7 innings of 1-run, 3-hit baseball. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 5. Gave up a home run in the 3rd, but otherwise was not under a lot of duress in this one. He had a good pitch count. He made just 66 pitches through 5 innings. To this 5 strikeout performance, limiting his high-powered offense to just the 1 run on the Mark Reynolds home run. And now Brad Boxberger will take over here in the 8th inning.
Once again, setting up perfectly for Joe Madden. You have a lead, you're into the 8th, and you've got your 2 big relievers waiting. Boxberger with great numbers. And Joe's first option.
Scooter Gennett leads it off, and he takes the pitch outside. Gennett called out on strikes on a slider in the 3rd, struck out swinging on a change in the 5th. All of that against Odorizzi, of course. Off the changeup here.
You need a strike here. You do not want to get into the territory where you're on the verge of walking the leadoff man in an inning, especially here down the bottom 3rd of the order.
There you go. Big cut and a miss on the fastball. 2-1. So Zach Duke, a left-hander, loosening in the bullpen a moment ago for Milwaukee. Fastball that time from Boxberger.
See how he slings that ball from that lower 3/4 arm angle, and the swing by Gennett underneath the pitch.
Out of play it goes. Reynolds will be next, and then Gene Segura. The shortstop is due up. A miss. Fastball by him. Gennett out number 1 in the 8th.
Now he fell behind him with 2 straight changeups and then went to the fastball and just blew him away. About that Rays bullpen.
That Toyota trend, the last 10 games, those numbers are as good as you can be. A 0.75 earned run average. Strikeouts to walks.
How about just the strikeouts in general? 36 of them in 24 innings. Big numbers.
Well, we've talked about the resurgence of the Rays here and how the offense has been such a big part of it. And the pitching has picked it up as well. Both the rotation and that bullpen. The bullpen has been almost untouchable. Blue Jays really pouring it on the Red Sox. It's 13-0 now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oakland gave up 7. Dubront gave up 6. A 9-run 6th inning.
And the Boston Red Sox looking for pieces moving forward for next year. I don't think they found any tonight.
Foul. The count is 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball up, and Reynolds chased it out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Boxberger here in the 8th.
Elevated. Mark Reynolds loves the fastball. Cannot get to that one.
Here's Gene Segura. First pitch strike. Bumping fastballs now. A miss and another fastball. 0-2.
First couple changeups off the plate away, and you're right, he's turned to the heat, not deviated.
2-strike pitch. 1-2. Fastball. Came back with the hard stuff to strike out Gannett, Reynolds, and Segura. 2-1 Rays, mid-8. Welcome back to Tropicana Field. Our game summary as we move into the bottom of the 8th. Rays with 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to offset the 3rd inning Mark Reynolds home run. James Loney driving in Ben Zobrist and Matt Joyce in the 6th. Rays get another outstanding starting performance from Jake Odorizzi. 1 run, 3 hits, 7 innings. Zach Duke is the new pitcher, the 3rd of the night for Milwaukee. Loesch for 6, Jeffries for 1, and now Duke.
But those numbers, ERA barely over 1, 57 strikeouts, 9 walks in 42 innings.
He hasn't been scored upon in his last 14 outings. The curveball is low to Ben Zobrist, 1-0. It's a non-roster pitcher in camp this year with the Brewers and made the team. And he's pitched well as we saw those numbers. Switch with the Pirates and the Nationals and the Reds. Big Jake McGee in the bullpen for the Rays.
Well, will he have a 1-run lead to work with or more?
That's where his checks on a pitch low.
Dookie's got that from the left side. Sweep that breaking ball, and you saw that fastball getting up to 90 miles an hour from that lower arm angle.
Count is full.
But he will change that arm angle, as we've seen on a couple of fastballs below that 90-degree angle out there from the side.
Joyce due to hit next, but Sean Rodriguez has moved on deck. And Evan Longoria due. Rodriguez. Down to first. Reynolds makes the play unassisted. 1 out in the 8th inning. And it's time now to check in with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, a reminder, tomorrow Matt Garza returns to Tropicana Field, the site of both the no-hitter and pushing the Rays to the World Series back in 2008. We'll have our pregame show at 6:30. Kelly Nash with Alex Cobb as well. That's brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. There is Garza right there, returning back to Tropicana Field. Had a chance to meet with him before the game. And then after the game tonight, Rays Live presented by Checkers. Jake Odorizzi continues to be strong now in 9 consecutive starts. Interviews from the Rays clubhouse. As always, Joe Madden's press conference. And by the way, Joe said tomorrow on his bike ride on Bayshore Boulevard, he will have his Fort Myers bike horn, guys.
Of course he will. Put one on BA's new bike.
I'm going to take that.
Takes the strike.
I'm going to take that that Bayshore ride on Thursday on the off day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect way to spend the off day.
Yep. Can't wait. Look out, or you're going to get the horn.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Yep. Sounds like that.
You'll know who's coming
here.
Yep.
Big cut and a miss by Sean at the slider. He's out on strikes. Todd, you have more.
I do, Dwayne. I'm learning via Twitter and through Kelly Nash, who informed me about this, is that there's animals, dogs around the Tampa Bay region that are going crazy watching our broadcast whenever the bike horn is squeaked. So you guys are making a big impact throughout the region.
Just trying to expand the audience as best we can.
Include everyone.
Here's Evan Longoria. That slow breaking ball. In for a strike. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the 8th, a 1-run ball game, 2-1 Rays. Rays got their 2 runs off the starter Kyle Loesch in the 6th. Loesch, Jeffress, and Duke on the hill tonight. Two and one. Brett Gardner's hit another home run off Yu Darvish. It's now 2-0 Yankees in Arlington, Texas, in the top of the 5th. It's 12 home runs for Brett Gardner. Have a lead. Blue Jays leading big over Boston. Longoria walks with 2 outs. James Loney will bat. Here's a look at the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, Ron Renicky. He and Joe Madden were on the Angels staff. Madden was the bench coach and Renicky the third base coach when Joe was hired as the manager of the Rays, and Renicky succeeded Joe as the bench coach with the Angels. Now managing the Brewers, and we know the story here. Joe Madden and the Rays. Loney driving in both runs for the Rays in the 6th inning with this base hit.
Well, it all started with a 2-out walk, and that man bends over. So James Loney, he thrives in those big situations later in games, and he is the difference right now.
But back in at first. Night game tomorrow, day game on Wednesday. Alex Cobb and Matt Garza, the pitching matchup tomorrow night. Only fouls it out of play the other way.
I'll tell you, with the Rays pitching staff, always half of this starting pitcher matchup is going to be good. You know that. Everybody that the Rays run out. But I'll tell you, this series, they're all good. Get Garza, get Gallardo on Wednesday.
Against David Price. That's the Price-Gallardo matchup. Two and one. Miss by Loney. That was a fastball. 2-2. Ground ball. That'll be picked by the second baseman, Jeanette. High throw, but Reynolds gets that foot back on the bag. Rays are out in the 8th. We go to the 9th. It'll be the top of the order for Milwaukee against Jake McGee. Sun Sports is brought to you by Bluebell Ice Cream. By Nissan. Choose Nissan tonight for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Bert Smith Volkswagen, Tampa Bay's home of driving excitement. Visit BertSmithVW.com. 2-1 as we go to the ninth inning at Tropicana Field tonight. Jake McGee will go to work here in the ninth inning. Brad Boxberger worked a 1-2-3, 3 strikeout eighth inning. And for Jake, it'll be the top of the order.
Looking for that 12th save. 47 innings of work, 61 strikeouts, just 10 walks to go along with that average of 182, facing 1, 2, and 3 for the Brewers. It will not be easy, but the Rays are 3 outs away.
Carlos Gomez will lead it off. And he takes a pitch on the first pitch. That's something new. 1 ball, no strikes. A miss. It's 1-1. Jake at 96 on the gun that time.
Well, this is going to be an interesting matchup here. This is a good fastball hitting team against one of the best fastball pitchers in the game.
Brings this one over for a strike at 96, 97.
This is the pitch that separates Jake this year. The ability to locate that fastball in really good spots to go along with the dominant velocity.
Strikes out Gomez. Overmatched him right there.
He expanded the zone. You know, he got ahead 1 and 2, and watch this pitch. It's just going to be off the plate a little bit further away, as you see right there. Look at 2, 3, and 4. He literally walked him right off of the plate. That is beautiful pitching.
Well, Gomez, LaCroix, and Braun all getting their first look ever at Jake McGee. LaCroix takes it upstairs. Second appearance for Jake McGee. It's tops in the American League in appearances.
Well, this Brewers lineup so powerful, especially at the top of the order. You can see that they have been working away. Make them beat you to the other side of the field.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And if he keeps putting it in spots like that, there's nothing you can do with that pitch. You maybe flip one into right field for a single.
Now the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A little extra there at 98 away. The range. How about that for a range? 95 on the low side.
Doesn't give you a whole lot to think about, does he?
He got him. Struck him out at 97.
You know, we talk about this lineup, so aggressive, wanting to swing the bat. Jake McGee's command, better than it's ever been in his career, and he walks another guy right off the plate. Just keep moving it out there. That's the swing that you get.
Well, you got to commit very early.
That's taking advantage of a lineup that is aggressive and wants to swing, and Jake knows they're hunting that fastball right now. Oh boy.
Ryan Braun. Takes the pitch away. Is popped to second, line to center, fouled out up the right field line. It's a fly ball into center. Jennings back to the track. Rays win. Fly ball to center ends it, and the Rays get back on the winning side of the ledger. 2-1 the final tonight. Bullpen perfect in the 8th and 9th innings. Boxberger, 3 strikeouts in the 8th. Jake McGee a 1-2-3 ninth with 2 strikeouts. And the Rays win the first game of the series from Milwaukee 2-1. And this is exactly what the Rays needed to do after dropping yesterday's game to the Red Sox 3-2. Come back with a victory over the National League Central Division leading club, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, and this is a team second in the National League in runs per game. They've got a lot of power sprinkled throughout. And 1 solo home run. A great job by Jake Odorizzi. A timely hit by James Loney. A nice 2-out approach in that inning to even get it to Loney. And then all of a sudden, Boxberger, McGee, those guys right now are about as automatic as you can get coming out of the bullpen.
Well, the Rays continue to get outstanding pitching, including from Jake McGee, who closes it out tonight. Todd Callis down on the field with Jake right now.
All right, Dwayne, Jake, it seems like your fastball command this season especially has been so spot on. Is that the big difference for you in your career right now?
Yeah, I think it's a big difference in that. My velocity's been higher than it ever has before. It's helped a lot. Plus, with my location, it's been like 2012, so it's really kind of got me over the edge this year.
You have been used a lot this year, especially recently. The heavy workload, how are you feeling physically?
I'm feeling pretty good physically. The 2 days off a few days ago was good. Yesterday was good off. You know, my body's been recovering quick, so I've been lucky.
The guy in front of you, Brad Boxberger, seems like each day, each week, each month he's pitching better. Are you watching the evolution of one of the better relief pitchers, not only for the Rays, but in the major leagues right now?
Yeah, he's been pitching lights out. It seems like he's been striking out everyone every time he goes out. So it's always fun to watch, you know, especially the strikeouts, exciting. So
this is a tough team, Milwaukee. You obviously don't know them very well. But for you guys to only allow 1 run on 3 hits, I think it kind of speaks to the way not only the bullpen's been lately, but your rotation.
Yeah, I think our pitching's been, you know, carrying us, and our hitting too. Today with Loney's big hit, you know, big clutch hit, won us the game pretty much, you know. We just gave a solo home run today and still won 2-1, so.
Congratulations on the big save and the nice win, and go enjoy it. Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, guys, right back to you.
Well, the Rays scored 2 in the 6th inning, and they make that stand up. It's a 2-1 final. Back in a moment.